You know, I suppose that a lot of people think that scores, rushing yardage, and passing yardage is what college football is all about. But a young man who has played his last football game reminds us that there are no statistics for courage.
It was a freak accident on a routine pass play. September 11th, UCLA versus Long Beach State in the Rose Bowl. Todd Hart, number 22, a 19-year-old sophomore defensive back for Long Beach State, tries to break up a pass, lands on his neck, and is instantly paralyzed from the neck down.
Late in the game, the 49ers safety Hart is injured while defending on a pass play.
His first instinct had been to go for the interception, but then he thought quickly, no, put a big hit on the receiver. Everybody got up, but Todd Hart.
In one split second, the life of a 19-year-old who had it all nearly stopped.
We were all quite shocked at the time, waiting for him to get up, and he never did, and they eventually brought a stretcher out to the field and carried him off.
When I found out about his injury, I was in San Diego going to school at the time.
I was in the Marine Corps. It was a visitor's day, and my father, that was one of the first things he told me. He said, Todd was in a very serious accident. He's paralyzed, he'll never walk again, and he might not make it.
When Todd's accident occurred, there was obviously a profound change in him. It was a tragic change for him, but it was like instantly, we just came together.
Just dropped everything I was doing and jumped in the car and drove from San Diego up to Pasadena to Huntington Memorial.
And as soon as I got out and got a little time, I found out where he was at the hospital, and I went to visit him.
He was kept alive on a respirator, and in the first few weeks he had several setbacks: pneumonia, a collapsed lung, hepatitis, but he kept battling back.
I went around the curtain, and there he was hooked up to the breathing apparatus.
Seeing him on a breathing machine with 4 bolts screwed onto a skull, I mean, that was just, you know, a devastating memory.
All the tubes, and he was in a halo from the broken neck. And I asked his father, what can I do to help?
We think about what Servite has done for us, right? So it's formed a brotherhood, taking that journey from boys to young men with that discipline, that leadership. You know, that's what we all leveraged or reflected back on when we heard Todd's hurt. So you form leaders, you form brothers, and together, you know, we're sort of seeing what that pulls people through.
It seemed like the seeds that were planted in us at Servite, the values, brotherhood, others before self, those seeds germinated and flowered right after the accident.
Then the prognosis was not very good as far as overall functioning.
Hart's doctor, Kathleen Egan, is not optimistic about his recovery. She uses statistics like 8 to 10% ever recover from this type of accident. But perhaps Dr. Egan doesn't know Todd Hart very well.
At a certain level, they'll say, you'll do this, you'll get this much function back, but who is a doctor to tell you what you're going to be able to do and how much you're going to be able to come back? And so you can understand what their prognosis is, but you don't have to accept it at all.
If there's a young man in this country that will survive something, it's Todd Hart. And you look at his family and his teammates and those that are praying and wishing for him, and Todd is a fighter, and he'll do it. If there's anybody that'll do it, he'll do it.
They wanted to wean him off the respirator. So that meant he wasn't going to get as many breaths per minute.
He's now off the respirator that was helping him to breathe, and breathing is not at all easy, but he is fighting it all the way.
Everyone who knows Todd calls him a fighter, a battler. He won't quit, they add. Today, Todd is breathing on his own. No more respirator.
That's really a key point in his recovery was to be able to breathe on his own.
I feel like I've gotten through the hard part. Just coming to accept it and everything. I'm gonna beat it, so it's no problem.
We continue to encourage him to fight through, you know, all of those doubts and you know, all of those challenges.
I definitely think I'm headed on the right road. I've got the right attitude towards it all.
I think the support of everybody around him was pivotal in helping him change his attitude, along with the values that he was taught at Servite.
The faith that everyone displays in me and the loyalty that everyone shows has been a main driving force in my determination to
get better.
Coaching staff and faculty staff all gave us that, instilled into us that the pride that if you get knocked down, you get back up, you brush yourself off, and you move forward. And no one exemplifies that more than Todd.
Todd is why he's where he's at now. Servite gave him that strength. We just were a support team.
It's something I term as a blind faith, and that's just knowing that there's someone up there and I know he's given me strength, and that's the most important, and believing in that, it helps. I can honestly say that someone is up there, and it works because I've felt it before, and I always do, still feel it.
Todd exemplified what Servite tried to instill in everybody, which was character and leadership.
Football once was his passion, now it is trying to learn to walk, and he's working at it harder than he's ever worked at anything in his life.
He's got a lot of problems to overcome to get there, but he's determined, and he's come a long way since he started.
I'll get up on those parallel bars and move my legs somehow, and from then, once I do that, then we're on the road.
Hopefully. Miracles have been performed because of what's up here, too.
That's right.
It's just as important as anything else.
And the mind has a lot to do with the healing process.
He's always been there for everybody else, and anytime anyone's had some kind of challenge, he's explained to them how he's risen to his, and he does it with great integrity, honor, and courage, and we can all be thankful for that.
You want to know what courage is? We just saw it. Oh boy, right there.
Brent, it takes a lot of courage to play the game of football, but even more courage to go through what he's gone through.
Courage might be the right word for them. I don't know if this is courage to me. I mean, I just wouldn't have it any other way of fighting back. I mean, I have to do that. It's just survival to me, okay? I don't know if it's courage on my part. A lot of people look at it as courage, but me, it's just me, okay? It's just the way I am.
We think about what Servite has done for us, right? So it's formed a brotherhood, and you see that brotherhood today. We're all come back together to celebrate Todd's success and Servite's role in forming that brotherhood.
Todd obviously has exemplified the spirit of Servite, of picking yourself up off the ground. He's a tremendous honoree for this evening. He has allowed each and every one of us to overcome challenges that we may have thought we had, and then take a look at what Todd's gone through and realize that our problems are pretty trivial.
We have our pains and our trials, and it's just amazing what he's accomplished. Todd is a champion. He's always succeeded in everything he's done.
I love him dearly, and to be able to come out here in front of the Servite community and to honor him, it's well deserved.